Hey everybody, it's Emmy with Outdoor Dog Supply. Today I'm coming on to talk to y'all about something super important, which is after season care for your Garmin equipment. A lot of people, like myself, hunt every single week. So my equipment pretty much stays in use, but I know there's a lot of hunters who put away their equipment for a few months at a time between seasons. And I'm coming on today to talk to y'all and make sure y'all are doing the appropriate care for your equipment during the off season. A lot of people don't realize, but off-season care is more important than what you're doing in the on-season for your equipment. So let's go ahead and talk about it. And I'm gonna show y'all what my process would be to get my equipment ready to be stored away when I'm putting it away for a few months at a time. Alrighty, so the first thing we're gonna hit on for your after season care is how to properly charge your collars before putting them away. So we always recommend after season, after the last day, or if you're gonna be doing this a couple weeks after season, it's fine. But first you wanna let all your collars die. So you wanna turn them all on and let them completely die out. What this is gonna do is reset your battery. So if your battery is off, sometimes we find where batteries will be showing they're 50%, but they're actually 100%. And this happens by the battery glitching out with the system and showing the wrong percentage. 99% of the time, if you let the collar die and the battery resets, this is going to stop that issue. And this is when you do that, this is what we're doing, is trying to reset that battery, make sure it is fresh and clean. Then you're going, once the collar is completely dead, you're going to plug it back in and then let it fully charge till you see the green light solid. So once you do that with your collars, you'll be ready to move on to the next step, which is cleaning. For your handhelds, you're gonna do something pretty similar. You're going to let your handheld battery die to reset it as well. Then you're going to want to fully charge it. The difference with the handhelds is before you put your handheld away in storage, you're going to want to pull your lithium battery out and you're gonna wanna leave it separate. A lot of times we recommend going ahead and putting this in a little baggie or something to make sure absolutely no moisture gets in with the battery, because it can ruin it. As far as your Alpha XL, what we're gonna recommend, the Alpha XLs are a little different. A lot of people still have these in the trucks in the off season for navigation purposes, but if you are not and you want it out of your truck, we're gonna recommend the same thing. Take it off the VHF dock, but leave it on, let it die. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to want to charge it till it's fully charged. And then you're gonna turn it off, and you're gonna want to store the VHF dock and the Alpha XL screen separate. I don't have a drive track with me, but same thing with the drive tracks. If you're pulling it out, let it die, recharge it fully, and then you can put it away. With the Alpha XL and the drive tracks, they aren't gonna have as long of a battery life as these two, so they may still die out, which is okay, but leaving them fully charged when you're putting them away is gonna be the best way to keep that battery working the best it possibly can. Alrighty, everybody, now let's talk about the next most important step, which is collar cleaning. A lot of people will leave their collars, with a lot of dirt and grime on them in the off season, and I'm gonna walk you through why that is not a great idea, and also how to properly store these collars away. So what a lot of people don't realize is collars, when they're caked with a lot of dirt and grime, I know I hunt in areas with a lot of red clay, and my collars will get absolutely caked with it. If you're hunting in swampy areas, same thing. You're gonna get a lot of stuff wedged up in between the rubber and your strap on your collar. What that does is it's gonna dry rot out your bands, which anybody that has a TT15 collar and has had one for quite a few years knows the number one issue of these collars breaking is this rubber dry rots out, and it's gonna crack and it's gonna peel, and and then all of a sudden in the next few years you're gonna find that no band's gonna be here at all. You're just gonna have the wire showing, which you do not want at all, obviously, because then that wire has no protection to it. So this process of cleaning And storing away properly is going to stop these bands from rotting and save you a lot of money in the long run. As well, you do not want to store them away when they have a bunch of moisture packed on them, because that will transfer to all your collars, all your equipment if you're storing them in the same area. So we're gonna go ahead and go through the process of how I recommend cleaning your collars. Alrighty, so a lot of people after each use will do a basic cleaning where they wipe down the main unit. They're gonna wipe down this back, they're gonna wipe down the front, but you're not really getting a deep clean and you're not really stopping all the moisture that's gonna be held between the collar strap and the band. So here's what I'm gonna do. First, I'm gonna pull the collar strap out of where you're gonna have the rubber band. If you're having issues, here are some of the tools we use here at Outdoor Dog Supply to pull these straps out. Flathead screwdriver, pliers, and if you're really having issues, we use this more putting the collar straps in, but hand sanitizer or some type of lubricant to help you guide it back through if it does happen to get stuck. So get your collar strap out like this, and then you're going to take the flathead under there. You can also use the pliers, I just prefer flathead, and you're gonna slowly pry that collar strap out. And then you're gonna just pull. I'm gonna stop all the dirt from getting on my jeans. And then you're gonna push up. Again, you can use the flathead or the pliers to pry if you have a lot of stuff stuck in there and it's not coming out. But it's pretty easy for me, so I'm just gonna pull this one out. And then you're gonna take and pull it all the way out. All right, so now the collar is strapless. I'm also going to take and pull the antenna keeper out just so I can get the best, deepest clean that I can. And all you're gonna do to pull the antenna keeper off is you're going to take and push, and then you're going to pull out the antenna and your keeper will pop off. Real quickly, I'm just gonna do the same process with the 25. It's pretty much going to be the same thing. I'm gonna actually take the keeper off first. I find it easier. Pull the keeper off, strap out. Use the pliers if you need to. Luckily, these collars aren't too bad, so I'm able to do it by hand. Push up. Boom, straps off completely. All right, so now that we have the straps off of both of these collars, we're gonna be able to clean them. As you see, this one's not too terribly dirty, but this one does have a lot of dirt and grime on it, which can affect that band over time. Especially if moisture gets in there and attaches to the dirt, it'll just make everything even worse for your collar. So you have a few different things you can use to clean the collars. You never want to use harsh chemicals on your collars because the harsh chemicals can also deteriorate that rubber, just like we were talking about with moisture. There's a lot of things, that rubber is pretty sensitive to chemicals, moisture, so you just want to be careful with it. So I just have a little mixture today of Dawn dish soap, and I'm just going to use a rag. This is like a heavy duty industrial rag. They're disposable. You can also use things like an old toothbrush. If you have like a little scrub brush, I wouldn't use the metal bristle ones, but if you have a soft bristle one, you can use something like that. Really anything that's just gonna get in there and get the dirt and grime off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab one of these, and I'm gonna dip it in my little mixture of just hot water and Dawn dish soap. And then I'm just gonna squeeze the water out. You don't want a ton of moisture. And then you're gonna take, and you're just gonna start cleaning the collars. When cleaning, you're just trying to get off as much dirt and grime as you can and make sure there's no buildup, especially of dirt. Obviously, if it has a few little dirt particles, they're outdoor collars, they're not gonna be perfect. So just making sure you're getting them as clean as possible is going to help make sure you're gonna have the best results and they're gonna store as good as possible. You wanna make sure also you're getting underneath the parts the straps go through and where the straps are held, because dirt will get up and especially hold under there. So just taking the rag, taking a thin little section of it and just working it back and forth to get that area clean. So I'm just gonna go through and wipe everywhere I can and get the collar clean as possible. Sometimes something like a toothbrush would be better for these little areas because you can get the bristles up in there and get it nice and clean. So now I'm gonna jump over, re-dip it, and I'm gonna go over to the TT15 that I have and clean that one as well. Alrighty guys, so I got both of those collars wiped down and clean. Now they are outdoor collars, so they're not gonna be probably perfect after you clean them, but they're gonna look way better than what they did before. So what you're gonna wanna do next is before you put the straps back on, you're gonna wanna make sure the collars are completely dry. Filming, so I'm gonna use this little fan I have to go ahead and dry mine off, but normally just lay yours out and let them air dry for like half an hour to make sure they're fully dry, or just till you know they're all completely dry. So I'm just gonna turn this on. Guys, and what you're also gonna wanna do is clean your straps off. So I'm just taking the same wipe with the Dawn dish soap mixture, and I'm just wiping my straps off nice and good. Now you see all that dirt and grime is off that collar strap. I'm gonna do the same thing with this pink one. See, getting all that dirt off. This one has a little bit more dirt caked on, so just take a minute and just scrub. It's not gonna probably be perfect, but what's most important is that you're getting all that caked on dirt off. Some of it's probably gonna be on the collar permanently. It just could be some discoloration from having the dirt on it for a while. But I'm just gonna clean this off real quick, and then I'm gonna come back when it's nice and cleaned off. Alrighty guys, I got that one mostly clean. You can see there's still a little bit of discoloration on the collar, but all that caked on dirt you saw before is gone, which is the most important part. So I got the collars I fan dried these, and then I let the collars air dry off. So now we're ready to put everything back together and get the straps back on. So personally, what I always recommend to get collars back on, because it is a little bit difficult for a lot of people to get them back on. So what I always recommend is if you're having issues, use some type of lubrication, like I said earlier in the video. I'm gonna use hand sanitizer. This is what we use here at Outdoor Dog Supply. You're gonna put some hand sanitizer on the end of the collar strap and then just kind of rub it down. And then you're gonna grab the collar and you're gonna slide it through all the way. Make sure it's hitting this little stopper right here. Then you're gonna slide this in through. A lot of times I'm going to push down the rubber, and that's gonna make it easier to slide through the pink piece. If you're getting stopped here and say your collar strap's getting snagged, anything like that, and you're having issues getting it through, a lot of times you can take a pair of pliers, put it on the strap, and then I kind of will take and turn them. And if you're having a hard spot, you're having a hard time getting the collar through, that's gonna make it easier, and it's gonna give you some force to be able to get that collar strap through. Now you're gonna go right here. By this point, the hand sanitizer might be getting a little dry, so if you need to grab some more, just put a little bit more on the end. And you're just gonna slide it through that last part. And at any point in this, if you're having a little bit more trouble, you can use more hand sanitizer at any point in the collar installation you need to. Now I'm gonna put the keeper back on. Just realized I did not wipe these off, but I'd recommend wiping off your keepers too. These aren't too bad, but just wipe everything off you can. And now I'm going to slide this back through, and boom, your collar is ready to be put away and stored. And now I'm quickly gonna do the same thing with the TT25. I'm just gonna do it a little bit quicker. I do this TT25 the same way. Go all the way to the stopper, slide it through the top part, go to right here on this piece, take my thumb, go down on the rubber, slide it through, and then go through the last part. And just like that, you're ready to go and put your collars in storage for the year. Now you see, they're not gonna look perfectly clean. They're not gonna be sparkling. They're scratched still. They're outdoor collars that see hours and hours of dirt and mud, but they're going to be a lot cleaner than they were before. This is gonna prevent the dry rot like I talked about. if you have a squishy case on your Alpha, just peel it back really quick and feel that rubber and make sure there's no moisture caught up in your squishy case. You might not have realized it, but you could have dropped your Alpha in a field super quick and dirt or anything can get wedged up in there, and that can cause moisture and actually make the sides of your Alpha peel. It might not happen immediately, but over time we see a lot, especially in the 100s now, those sides that have peeled away, and a lot of times that's also gonna get caused from moisture from not being stored right. All right, so the next and most important thing we're gonna talk about is where to store your equipment when you're not using it. So the most important thing when storing is you wanna make sure you have your equipment in a temperature controlled area. The reason you want to make sure it's temperature controlled is, one, you don't want the equipment getting super hot or super cold constantly. So you don't want it exposed to negative degree temperatures if you're somewhere where it's really cold. And if you're somewhere in like Florida where it can reach over 100 degrees a lot of times in the summer, you don't want your collars to be exposed to that. It can cause issues with not only the internal components, but that is also how you can see your collars get exposed to moisture, especially in the summer months in a non-temperature controlled area. What we recommend always, just making sure you're putting it somewhere cool and dry is going to prevent a lot of the issues you see in collars after having it stored away for months. If it's not in the right conditions. We see a lot of people a lot of times who leave their equipment in their trucks that they might not touch for a few months. If it's your hunting truck that you don't touch till hunting season, people just leave their stuff in there. It's not a great idea. You're gonna see issues start happening from changes in temperature constantly in those collars. And then also your truck will hold moisture in it. You'll see a lot of people even leave their collars in their dry box. That is a moisture trap, and that is going to rot your bands out after long periods of time. Even leaving them in something like a shed that's gonna get hot, hold moisture, really anywhere that is not, temperature controlled and it's not going to be cool and dry, we don't recommend. Alrighty guys, so I got a little bin here. This is something like what you can use to put your equipment in. Anything that's gonna keep it nice and clean, away from mice, anything like that you may have. So earlier in the video, I already pulled out the battery out of my Alpha handheld. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in a little baggie to keep that extra safe and extra dry, away from everything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the bin. Put my handheld in that I've checked. I'm gonna put my Alpha XL in the bin. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the screen separate from the VHF dock. We don't want those stored together because that can drain battery. Alrighty, and now I'm gonna put those collars in. So you got our T25, I'm gonna put in the bin, as well as my TT15. If you have any accessories you want to put in here as well, any charging cords, plugs, charging clips, anything like that to keep everything together, go ahead and throw that all in there. Anything you need, just put everything that's clean and dry in here and you'll be ready to roll next year. Thank you everybody for watching this video today. We appreciate you taking the time to look and see what is the best way to store your equipment in the off season. If you have any more questions, please give us a call at 757-482-1000. One of our technicians will be happy to answer any questions you have or give you any more information on the best way to store your equipment. Bye guys.